Hello and welcome to Dice and Demons. I'm Emma, and today I thought we would both take a look at the new models for Fury of the Deep, but also talk a little bit about what might be really cool if GW made for the Idoneth Deepkin. So yeah, I'll be focusing mainly on the Idoneth Deepkin range because I think they have so much cool potential, and they also have some really cool models already, of course. While I have to admit the Fire Slayers don't really speak to me that much, even though, the Magma Droth is cool. Big giant fire dragon. I mean, that's always great, right? But I'm mainly interested in the Deepkin. So we got a look at the new Idoneth hero yesterday, the Thrall Master, and I think he looks really nice. He's like a classic Idoneth Deepkin model, but and I mean, he's got a pet eel. You'll never hear me say anything bad about someone who's got a pet eel that looks really vicious. So I mean, it's a cool model. I like it. I like the design. Everything is nice about it. It just wasn't quite what I was hoping for. Because Idoneth Deepkin have so many. They already have so many, small heroes on foot. And I was really hoping for like some new bigger units or some cavalry or something like that. I mean, it could still, come, which I hope it does, because there are so many options. I mean, they are, elves from the sea, from the ocean, so they could have all sorts of, weird oceanic creatures, and so what I would really want, and my first thing that I don't understand they don't have already is a Hammerhead Shark. I mean, look at it. Aw, it's adorable, right? And it looks like it's too stupid to exist, but it does. And I mean, I know the Idoneth already have sharks, which is cool, and I actually kind of love the sharks. But I mean, when you actually do design sharks for a fantasy range, why not go with Hammerhead Sharks? They are so cool, and they're so silly and ugly, and I mean, they would be perfect. If they ever design a Hammerhead Shark, I will get them. I mean, I need an army of Hammerhead Sharks if that would, be in any way, shape, or form possible. Look at it. It's the stupidest designed animals I have ever seen, and they are actually, a real life thing. So, Hammerhead Sharks, please. Another thing I would really like is Jellyfish, and hear me out. Okay, I know this sounds silly because Jellyfish are like the least exciting creatures on Earth, perhaps. But look at these crazy color schemes you could make, and I don't want them just as like part of an ordinary unit. I think I would like them to be some sort of endless spell. Like you could cast luminescent jellyfish and send them across the table toward your opponent, and you could catch them in those tentacles, or sting them or something. I don't know what they could do, like but I imagine that they would be so like a predatory endless spell that would come and get you, and I would really love it if GW would then cast them in clear plastic, so we could paint them with inks and stuff to really make, give this whole see-through quality that jellyfish have. And then I would love to see what everyone in the Warhammer community would do with, jellyfish. Sounds silly when you say it like that, but it would be really cool. It would be so fun. We could have pink and green and orange and all sorts of silly jellyfish. And I mean, of course, I would like them to be like a little bit bigger than jellyfish are in real life, of course, so that they would look a little bit more frightening, I suppose. But oh man, I would just love to paint some see-through, bioluminescent jellyfish. I think that would be so much fun. Another thing I'd really want, and this is a little bit of a frightening picture, and I'm sorry, but I want these. I think they're called Anglerfish or something. And they just look, they look horrible. But the thing is, like, they're living in sort of like really deep ocean waters, and they have this sort of thing on top of their head that can send out some sort of light, and they use that to attract prey. Which I think is just, and the look of the jaw and everything, they look so creepy, right? But I don't just want these, I want them as like creatures in front of chariots. Imagine having a whole chariot unit pulled by creatures, monsters like this. Wouldn't that be fun? And then, of course, usually chariots have wheels, but then, you could just design them with some sort of wave or something underneath to show that they're actually, sort of sailing through the water magic thing that the Idoneth have. Wouldn't that be fun? And you could paint them in all sorts of crazy colors. I know these are, like, in real life, sort of a dark, relatively boring color, but again, they could be painted in any which way you would want, and of course you could also do all sorts of things with the design and make them look different. The only thing is, I'd really like them to still have that lightning thing on top of the head, and then that big protruding jar from the lower part of the face. They look so horrible, but imagine those in, like, pick like a horse or something for a chariot for other for other factions, but then like 2 of these, and then they should have like a really powerful biting attack, with the jaw, or perhaps they could have some sort of ability that would draw the enemy in, because they have that thing to make people interested. So people would perhaps be sort of drawn in without really noticing what's going on, and so they could be like chopped to pieces by your cavalry anglerfish. I would love that. Another thing I'd love for would be like a Kraken, a giant octopus creature. And I really do love the sea turtle that the Idoneth already have, but I'm a giant Kraken. And I'm not, I know there is this this hero guy with the he's like, a scribe or something, and he's got like an octopus sitting over his shoulder or whatever, which is cool. But I want a real big octopus, and you could, like, I don't know, make it more fantasy-ish, but the whole idea of a giant big octopus coming and swallowing you and eating you with that sort of beak they have, yeah. But it should be really big, like a really big centerpiece model, just like the sea turtle, I think. I would love that. And you again, all these options for painting these sea creatures in, weird colors. That would be so much fun. And it could, like, it could have a ranged attack with, like, the ink or whatever it is they are spraying out, that liquid that octopuses can spray with. That would also be fun, so you could, like, blind your enemies or something. I would just love that. And the last, well, not exactly the last thing, I could probably go on talking all day about what I want. But what I also really want would be like lobsters, like fantasy-esque lobsters, giant lobsters. And I don't want them to be sort of a cavalry unit where you would have elves riding them. I want them to be more like, like dire wolves or something. A unit that can go off on their own and do their own thing. Because, imagine being chopped to pieces with their claws, right? And they could just, like, scuttle across the battlefield and chop people up. That would be, I think that would just be amazing. And all those, like a lobster they have, the sort of shell surface and stuff, and they have the claws, and they have the weird things sticking out in front. And I mean, you could paint them in so many cool ways. You could make all sorts of weird, freehand designs, perhaps on the backs, and you could have, they could be like, horses that have different colors. So you could have like a pink lobster and a blue lobster and green and so on, or with stripes or whatever. I would really love that. And I mean, there are also all weird things from the ocean deeps, like more eels. We could have like some sort of bioluminescent worms, all sorts of things. Yeah, that's what I really want. I particularly want the hammerhead shark, though. I mean, isn't it cool? I even way back when the Idoneth came out, I actually had some sharks, and I sculpted a hammerhead shark myself, but I'm not the greatest sculptor in the world, so it didn't turn out as cool as it could have if, it was like properly sculpted by someone who actually knows what they're doing. But yeah, this is me wishlisting for even more crazy sea creatures for the Idoneth. But I would also like to hear what you think. Are there any sort of low-hanging fruit that you would like GW to pick up and use in their design? What kind of units would you like to see? And what do you think about this new hero character here, the Thrall Master? So let me know in the comments below if any of these ideas that I have sound good to you, or if you have some that are even better. You probably have, because yeah, I'm sort of stuck with the whole hammerhead shark thing. So, but thank you so much for watching this video. If you wanna follow along on my painting projects, remember that you can always follow me on Instagram and Twitter as Dyson Demons, and you are also welcome to join us on the Dyson Demons showroom on Facebook if you want to do that as well. So, thank you, and I will see you next time. Bye.